Hi there, my name is FixFox and welcome back to Heroes of Might and Magic 2. Today is something completely different and I'm very excited for it. This is going to be a map that is coming to us from our friends in the Heroes of Might and Magic community in France. This was shared directly to me from Winnymaru, and it is a map designed and made by Moucheron Quipet. I'm very excited to see what they have for us. I do want to read a little bit of the information that Winnymaru gave me. He specifically says that the map is recommended to not be looked at before launching it to avoid spoilers. He says that discovery is really part of the fun. It says that we have to solve battles that have been designed, and it's going to be a challenge and a puzzle map. He even says it's okay to save before every battle because we'll probably need a couple of attempts to win every fight. And as a good player from Winnymaru to me, I am foolish if I do not listen to him and take that under advisement. So with that being said, I'm very excited for the challenge. I'm grateful to have been given the opportunity to make this happen. With that being said, let's dive in and see what we have cooking up. So this here is going to be The Great Return. This is denoted as being a 3-player small map here made on the FHeroes2 map editor, which you can always find in the bottom right corner here. And it is the map known as The Great Return. We have the loss condition, or rather the victory condition, of capturing a specific town, and there is a time limit. Very interesting. So a loss condition of running out of time. Let's see if we can be quite speedy in our efforts here. Expert map difficulty, and it says Lord Gears made his great return, and it's not to get a haircut. I'm sure I'm sure that they made this specifically for us English speakers, which I sincerely appreciate. So good to know. Good to know. Otherwise, I would have to translate, and my French is very, very rusty. It looks like it's going to be us in the blue position. We cannot play as red. We cannot play as purple. And with that being said, let's put it on to possible difficulty and let's see what's in store and dive right in. To the player, the map's objective is to capture the enemy castle. In order to do so, you'll have to win a series of fights with all of your heroes and interact with the tents. You only have one day. Oh, you only have one day. If one of your heroes fails, you'll have to restart. You can do them in any order. Very, very nice to know. Note, some of your heroes have spells. Maybe one of them will be useful, ... I like that very much. Lord Gears is back. After a long absence, he returned to his lands and discovered with horror that his castle has been captured by a band of rascals. That's unacceptable. Fortunately, he did not come alone. Several of his friends, a group of fearless adventurers, came to help him bring the access to the castle, and they are perfectly trustworthy. Well, okay, not really. They are more trouble than anything, but who knows, they might do the job properly for once. So here at the top, we got Lord Pixo the Knight. Hey, I know a certain gentleman by the name of Pixo, and I have to tell you, he does look something like this, just a tiny bit. That's wonderful. I love that. I'm grateful that map designers are sticking with what they know and finding inspiration in the world all around them. So we have Lord Pixo as the level 6 knight. He's got a couple of troops that looks like elves and rangers. We got nomads boots. We do have the expert archery. So I suppose as I'm going through these, I should probably talk about these. I want to get to the next hero, but I imagine that this is the time to start thinking about our strategy. I'm hoping that with the expert archery that we are going to do our best to split troops where necessary. We're going to find a way to keep enemies at range. Pretty important to note here, 4-speed rangers versus the 6-speed grand elves. It's possible that if we're up against a enemy that has 5 speed, that the best thing to do is going to be to utilize the 6-speed and shoot and run, shoot and run, shoot and run. We will see if that is going to happen or not. 2 attack, 2 defense, not that big of a deal. Cold Ring, that could be interesting. 30 spell points, that's 3 casts of the Cold Ring. I'm looking forward to this fight for Lord Pixo. I hope that things go very well. It looks like here we also have Sorelu, the Knight, level 6, 155 Peasants. Very interesting. 3 attack, 2 defense, 1 spell power, 1 knowledge, no spells. This is probably going to come down to a fight of positioning and making sure that you're splitting your troops and making sure that they're where you want them to be. Sometimes it's important to just simply have a full power stack doing damage, and sometimes you want to make sure that your positioning from spot 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 is correct. I'm guessing that with our low speed, that's going to come down to who gets to hit first, us or the enemy. That's the kind of challenge I would make. We think differently, but we will see. We will see. I mentioned Winnymaru. Here is his self-insert. I know that, again, he did not make the map, but again, very glad that Moucheron, Quipet, he did come up with, again, the things that he does know. So this is going to be our friend Winnymaru. And with 2 attack, 2 defense, 7 spell power, 7 knowledge. This is going to be a spell fight. Of course, the ultimate staff, expert wisdom. Okay, let's see what spells we have. It's going to be the teleport and the resurrect. Now that is incredibly interesting. That is incredibly interesting. A couple things about this. Number one, if you have teleport, you can potentially have swaths of slow-moving creatures advance towards you, and then you can teleport away with your greater druids. You can always resurrect when the time is necessary. It's going to be 350 hit points. That's going to be 1 full stack of creatures, whether it's swordsmen or greater druids. But it's ultimately going to come down to, can you survive with 1 person left? Anytime I see resurrection, that's what that makes me think of. So this for the mobility, to just stay alive and not get overwhelmed, and then the resurrect in order to bounce back and forth. So very interesting there. Oh, I'm so glad I didn't look ahead. I'm so glad that I took Winnymaru at his word, and I'm so very glad that I'm so very glad that I just am seeing this blind. I am honored to be in this map. I am absolutely honored. Of course, Lord Fix the Fox the Knight. That is me. And so happy to see that we have a couple of our nice, bright, shiny friends here. 5 Crusaders, 3 of the Paladins. If there is undead to be had here, this is going to be a bit of an interesting fight. Crusaders, of course, doing that double damage to the undead. And this is interesting. Enchanted Hourglass, so an extra 2 turns for each of our spells, plus the Black Pearl. Is there a damaging spell and more? There is. Okay, so this map is going to be about speed. Interesting. I'm playing around with speed. Mass slow versus the single slow. Whenever I see this makes me think that sometimes it's better to get the blanket haste or the blanket slow on everybody, and sometimes you would actually be better off having just the single creature, the key feature, slowed down or hasted. With the Bless, there's a lot of opportunities here. You probably don't want to split off single stacks of creatures with these Paladins, but it might come down to that. I don't know. We're going to have to see what that fight is, but I'm very much looking forward to this fight. Let's see if we can be successful. Tickled pink. The phrase in English is, I am tickled pink. And I have nothing else I can say about that. We do have our friend Lord Gears the Wizard, so level 12, and he looks like he's pretty tough. He's ready to go. Chain Lightning, 600 points of damage there. And we do have the Identify Hero spell. That is a very purposeful decision. It has to be. That has to be a purposeful decision. So anytime we're about to come up on a fight, let's make sure that we use our wizard friend here to cast the Identify Heroes. In fact, let's cast it right now, so that way whenever we're on him, all heroes will be fully identifiable. That's going to help us make sure that we're not going into these fights blind. I think that that's an excellent map design choice, and I love every second of that. That is fantastic. So I suppose, have to get through all these barriers. There's going to be 7 barriers in total, I'm sure, and I'm guessing that there's the castle right here that we're going to end up running towards. We have David the Wizard, 34 of the Halflings. Interesting. And not expert archery, only advanced. Very interesting. Spells? Haste, slow, disrupting ray. Disrupting ray, okay. I'm anticipating a slow disrupting ray fight. If the enemy has single stacks, then it can be difficult to win a fight without the Disrupting Ray. Disrupting Ray on one large stack of creatures, we can do a lot of damage there. Halflings are the best users of the Bless spell, especially probably between level 1 and level 2 creatures. Yeah, between level 1 and level 2 creatures, no question, halflings are the best users of the Bless spell. So that is purposeful. That's very purposeful, I'm sure, as is this. Also, again, with the haste, we can maybe play around with speed. Although we are usually a 3-speed creature with the haste, maybe we do some run and shoot, which is not a tactic you usually use with halflings. And we do have Sarakin, Diplomat, Expert, the Wizard. Perfect. Okay, he's the Diplomat. Ooh. Interesting. What a weird situation. What a strange situation here. Okay, so 0 attack, 0 defense, 2 spell power, 10 knowledge. Are we simply here to hop onto this observation tower? I imagine that might be it, but this is a very unique army composition, and there's, with troops of 5 alignments, it is highly unlikely that you're not going to be affected by this treasonous morale. So even though you have lots of forces here, a fight can have a lot of variance. It can go sideways very quickly because you're somewhat at the mercy of whether or not your troops feel inclined to get out of bed in the morning and rise and shine and go fight the enemies. Spells here to be considered: Magic Arrow, Stone Skin. 100 spell points though, that's a lot. That's a lot to play around with. If I see the Dragon Slayer, I'm going to assume it's dragons we're fighting, and therefore the Magic Arrow is probably not going to be so useful. Who would I Dragon Slayer here? I would have to get into it a little bit to see. 76 Battle Dwarves with the Dragon Slayer is actually kind of interesting, because I think that might take you from below average damage to, it might take you from negative damage into the positive damage. If you put it on the Magi, they're still going to have no melee penalty. They're going to do tons of damage, but who knows? And especially with these additional forces, this is going to be fun to play around with. I think we're going to try and save this fight for later. I think we will see. Okay, but as a diplomat, of course, he has lots of different forces. And then we do have Lady Jacady, the Necromancer, with 1 single ghost. And what does she have? Paralyze. Paralyze and Ghost. Why is Paralyze an interesting spell here? Paralyze is such an interesting spell because Paralyze has no retaliation from enemies. And so you can potentially paralyze one huge single stack at least one time. With our 10 spell points, you can paralyze somebody one time. And you can get your ghost to attack them with no retribution, start your growth, and then hopefully overwhelm like a petri dish full of bacteria. Just let the ghosts expand. Let them ferment. Let them reach their full potential. And more than that, I can't possibly say. This trading post, I'm not sure if that is particularly thematic for the game, but it's nice to know that we have that there just in case. Not to mention this observation tower. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 heroes here. And then 4 up top. Oh, 3 up top. And then 1 here. All right. So tell you what, I am going to start at random. Tell you what. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 heroes. Let's just start on the bottom. Oh, let's just start here. Let's start from left to right. I know we can fight this in any way, shape, or form, but let's just start from left to right and go from there, okay? So, we're going to pick up this sign. We tried to convince him otherwise, but Sir Relu insists that a group of peasants is an army worthy of that name. Let's hope that he's right, because there's 3 enemy minions waiting for him right ahead. So 3 enemy minions, very interesting. 3 enemy minions, 1, 2, 3 enemy minions. It sounds like then it's going to be all about stopping attrition. If you take 1 big hit from Minotaurs and from Steel Golems in this instance, you're going to have a real bad time. 5 attack, not a lot of defense, but a lot of attack. Nice thing here, 4-speed Minotaurs, 3-speed Steel Golems. That's going to mean that ideally with terrain, you can separate this fight a little bit. You can have the Minotaurs and deal with them first, and then you can maybe deal with the Steel Golems second. That's going to be my hope. There's not a lot I can do here. I am going to use single stacks. Let me think about how I want to do this. The best thing to do in this case, I do believe, is put my peasants at the very bottom. Not the very bottom, but we're going to go into close formation like so, and in the very middle, and we're going to try and consolidate towards the middle. Now, real quick, one more check here. This indicates to me that the Minotaurs are going to be on top, and then the Steel Golems are going to be on bottom. So let's do it like this. I love this, by the way. This is wonderful. In case you can't tell, I'm having the time of my life. This is Big thumbs up. Big thumbs up. Okay. And now the single stacks are going to close in, and then I'm going to get one big stack off with my peasants. Let's fight this fight and go from there. It's going to be a glorious victory, but 123 peasants, that's far too many to lose. Can't be done. We do have terrain here, which is exactly what we want. By the way, important to note that sometimes the FHeroes2 does a better job than others at trying to dissuade its troops from rushing down the battlefield to their death. There are instances where I've seen the troops stay in reserve, they hold back, and they stay together. I don't know quite if we're doing a great job of that with these troops or not, but it feels like they're staying a little bit closer together than I otherwise would like. Okay, so we have our single stacks here. By the way, again, Luke the Warlock, 5 attack, 0 defense, no spells here, and no spells here. 3 attack, 2 defense. I think you could tell what's going to happen here. We're going to skip. We're going to kill Minotaurs first. Do I take this retaliation? No, we should be able to kill these guys outright. Let's save our single stack. In fact, let's put a single stack down here. Step forward, we'll kill all 3 of these Minotaurs. Step down, step up. So it is going to cost us maybe 1 more peasant than we otherwise would have needed to, but there's not going to be any retaliation. 1-1 peasants, not too bad. Holy Hammer, that's actually pretty big. That feels nice for 8 attack. Multiplying the damage here, that could be the difference between doing negative damage down to possible total damage of 30%. That could be different than that even. Oh my goodness. What an interesting fight. 3 stacks of 2 Hydras. 3 stacks of 2 Hydras. The way I feel about this fight is this. Stay in closed formation, and then you're going to want to try and maneuver your peasants so that you don't take the retaliation onto your big stack, and you use your other stacks to block. But one thing that's interesting here in this fight that's different is this. You've got 2 speed creatures versus 2 speed creatures. In the previous fight, I didn't have to consider speed at all because I knew the enemies were always going to be faster. In this case, it's going to be back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. My 2 speed creatures, their 2 speed creatures, back and forth and back and forth. And lest we forget, they are going to get to go first from round 2 on. And the reason being is because my peasants will go, and then their snakes, peasants, hydras, and then peasants. And if you end the turn, the previous fight, if you get to go last in the round, then with all other speed being equal, the enemy is going to get to go first afterwards. So speed is very interesting here. So I think you do want to have your peasants either at the bottom or in this slot here. Ideally, you're going to kill 2 snakes, 2 hydras in one go. We don't want to lose any amount of damage. 8 attack. Hydras, I think, we're going to do some bonus damage against them, but not a lot. I think that this fight is going to be about as good as I can make this happen. So this is going to be a loss unless we can be crafty. I have to tell you, this variance in this, oh, what do you call it? This terrain is marvelous. This is marvelous. I really enjoy this. Okay, so I think for now, I think I want to actually move these peasants. Oh wait, this is my big stack. I want to move my big stack to here next turn. I want to keep this gentleman right here. This terrain is absolutely perfect for what I want to do. I know that. I know that the terrain is perfect for what I want to do. The stack up. We're going to just stay here. By the way, 2 attack, 0 defense, 1 spell power, 0 knowledge, so spells are not an issue here. And morale is normal, so that means that there's not going to be any instance of me getting good morale or them getting good morale. This is just a chess match. This is exactly how I like it. This is just a chess match. I'm going to send 1 peasant out here maybe to kind of slow these enemies down a little bit. I don't think that these hydras are going to go all the way around. 1, 2, 1, 2. Gonna back off. Gonna skip. Gonna step up. Gonna step up. And we're gonna step to here. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Oh, and that's actually it. Nice. So the Hydras, this was not intentional, but this does happen. The Hydras are all going to want to focus on this stack of 149 peasants. Because there is no path here, because this peasant is using this terrain to our advantage, then the Hydras are going to want to go all the way back around. So we can sometimes play with that, and this is actually going to do everything I want to do. This is going to isolate this fight in a really, really nice way. This is a really nice way of doing this. Interesting that that stack of Hydras is saying, no, no, no. I think that this is the FHeroes2 patch 1.1.5 on display here, where the AI does a really nice job of saying, look, if I can go around and if I should go around, I will, but otherwise it's recognizing here that it should not go around. It should just go straight for the jugular. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Uh-oh. Oh no. Not ideal. Why is this not ideal? I anticipated that they would go this way and that this peasant would be able to get into them. This peasant is now blocking someone who can take this retaliation. They're now too far. They're now too far. We don't want to take more hits than we have to. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna skip. 1, 2. Step up. Make space for us to climb out. Oh no, this peasant should have backed off. So that's a mistake on my part. So we're gonna lose 2 peasants here. That's actually pretty bad. That's actually fairly bad. But I don't think that that kills us. I think that that's bad, but doesn't kill us. So we are gonna kill 2 Hydras here, but look at the damage. We have 149 damage essentially. So one thing to note here, it was very specific that you have the Thunder Mace of Dominion, because with 8 attack, that means that there's going to be no bonus damage. Yeah, defense skill of 9. So we have a defense skill of 9 here. We have an attack skill of 9. It was very purposeful. And I can tell you that I think I've already messed up, because we're only going to do 149 damage. And so we're going to take some more retaliations than we otherwise would have, because we lost 2 stacks of peasants there. We're going to lose more troops than we wish we had. So fix Fox's mistake clearly. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. So we need to back off to here. Oh, this is horrible. This is horrendous. I've messed up. I've absolutely messed up. This will still work, actually. Because we got this terrain that we're playing with, we got the Hydras to step up. They're going to step down, and we're going to be in range, but they're not going to be in range of us. We're not going to do enough damage to kill both of them, though. We're still going to take a retaliation. That feels really bad. 16. That's 32 peasants. Our failure costs us 32 peasants. Failure feels bad. 1, 2. Okay. Okay, we're going to see if we can finish this fight off with as few peasants as we have, but it's going to be 32 peasants that we lose because of our failures in positioning. Yeah, losing 70 peasants here, I doubt that that's going to be worth it to us. I don't think that's going to be possible, because now we have to brawl with NHR. Let's see if we can do that. Let's see. Maybe, I don't know how perfectly I have to play these fights. If I'm being honest, I have no idea how perfectly I need to play these fights. I'm going to try and do my single stacks. I'm going to see if I can get through this fight. Let's see about it. Okay, casualties, acceptable. Okay, and once again, we do have nice terrain to deal with. These golems are 2 speed, so it's a battle of 2 speeds once again, and we're going to do the back and forth, trying to get our forces where they ought to go. Let's see if we can play around with terrain again. We're going to step up to here. This peasant has to stop. And then this one, we're just going to have him step up into this gap. I don't think that these golems are going to go all the way around. I do not think that that's going to happen. But our goal is to get however many of these golems taken down with one shot as we can. So we're backing off. Aha, okay, that's not too bad. But you see that we're playing with this gap in the terrain. Okay. By the way, this is... Oh, you've got 99 attack! Oh, jeez. So, NHR the Wizard. So this is all about single stacks of creatures. That's what this fight's all about. Very interesting. So if we get hit with 104 attack skill, you cap out at 300% damage, but that's going to be enough. So the rule is don't get hit. The rule is Just don't get hit. You're fine. You're fine. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, so we're backing off because we know that we're going to have a little bit of time before bad things happen. I think I'm just going to back off here so that this golem comes in front of us and tries to do some damage. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Gonna back off to here. Did he just go one space forward? My goodness. Not making it easy on me, I see. But that's good. I think I'm happy with that. Okay, and now we've wasted some more of this golem's time. Okay. Yeah, and at this point we're going to use this single stack to lure this stack of 5 in. We are successful in that, and then we take the retaliation. Okay. Okay. And so retaliation is down. We might as well attack with all the peasantry we have. With 11 defense, we are doing even damage. So the calculation should be fairly easy. But here's the problem. We're only doing 77 damage. So as many peasants as we have is exactly the damage we have. Just in case you're unfamiliar, the way that damage is calculated in Heroes of Might and Magic 2 is this. It is the attack skill of the creature who is attacking against the defense of the creature that's defending. So in this case, the Iron Golem has 11 defense and we have 11 attack. There is no bonus damage and there's no damage reduction. No problems. Okay, so good to know. But if you're looking for bonus damage, it's going to be a little bit different. Wait a second. Oh yeah, I already took that one hit. Yeah, never mind. For some reason, I thought that I figured out a glitch in the Matrix. I did not. But otherwise, you're just going to have to suffer knowing that there's opportunities to win, but you got to be very, very careful because the attack skill and the defense skill has been very carefully set forth by the map creator. So very excellent. I love this. So we lose, and that's bad. That means that we lose everything. Perfect. I'm for that. We're going to hit new game. We're going to load right back in. But we already knew where our mistake was. That's not the question. The question's not where did we make a mistake. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to end up saving whenever I complete a full road, and so that way I don't have to keep fighting a road. But as I've said before, I'm really enjoying this. Okay, closed formation. And what did we say? I don't think that we actually need... I think we can have the peasants in the middle. I think in the future we can actually adjust that a little bit. I think in the future we don't actually have to have peasants in the 4th slot. I think we can have them in the 5th slot, and I think that that will actually be much better. I do. Okay, so once again, crowd around, friends. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. And let's see, this peasant. Perfect. I just realized I might have made a mistake there, and I might not have even realized it, but you do want to make sure that this this peasant was attacked. If the Minotaurs attacked this other peasant, I would have lost some other peasants unnecessarily. 151 peasants is going to kill this whole stack. Save every single peasant you can save. You have to save every single peasant, because I think that every single peasant's going to matter. Whoops. Whoops. Well, I lost my brain for 2 seconds, but that's okay. That's okay, because I'm having fun. And I'm grateful that I get to have so much fun with this. Okay. All right, we know what to do. Let's just make it happen. Let's just prove that we know what to do. Let's not talk about it. Let's just do it. I wonder if Luke is a friend of anybody. I'm sure that Luke is an actual person. It seems like everyone here is a real person. By the way, we've made a little bit of an error. I do think that the closed formation is the best thing to do. We're going to be able to salvage this, of course, because we have turn order in our favor and we got enough time to jump here, but I could see it being important that you not get attacked in a bad way. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So the issue here is this, is that anywhere... 1, 2... Anywhere that these peasants go, these Minotaurs are going to be able to attack them. I think I have to do a defensive position one more time. I don't think I can attack because then the steel golems will get to follow up. So this turn, this isn't going to work for me. Yeah, this is not going to work for me. Unless, if I do this, then this one peasant can step up to here, and then 1, 2, 3. No. Okay. Let's do this one more time. I will do this as many times as it takes. I will not stop. One thing that's always nice to know is that I always do, at the very bottom of my YouTube videos, I always make sure that I have things that you can take a look at. It's the little chapters, and I find that that helps me have fun if I'm trying to look for something in particular, and so hopefully that can be useful for you here as well. Okay, so we want the peasants to be at the top of the screen, so everybody's just going to step up 1 or 2, 1 or 2, 1 or 2, 1 or 2, 1 or 2. Okay, we're going to call that a skip, 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 safe. Okay, and now the iron golems or the steel golems are down to the south, so that suits us just fine. We don't need to lose a peasant here, so we're not going to. We are going to move 1, 2, 3. Our peasants need to move into this direction. We are unfortunately going to lose this one peasant here. They're going to step into this area. They're going to be bait. It's going to be 2 peasants lost in this fight, and that's not ideal, but it is what it is. So, okay, so 2 peasants lost. Do I have to do better? I haven't made the calculations to see in my mind if that's if any amount of peasants is bad to lose. I just haven't made that calculation yet. Let's see. We know that we have to have 1 stack of 150 peasants. We know that. Why do we know that? We know that because there's 2 hydras in each stack, 3 stacks of hydras, and you have to do 150 damage, otherwise you lose 32 peasants. We saw that already. So we have to have 150 peasants in 1 stack. That means we have 1, 2, 3 countermeasure sort of peasants here. And I think I'm always going to want to have the peasants be together. I always have to have my biggest stack to the bottom for turn order purposes. And I do need to be in close formation. Yeah, but this should be fine. Okay, let's make this work. Even this indicates it's going to be a glorious victory. Let's see, terrain. This is actually a really important rock. There's a movie called Shrek. I think it's actually based off of the German fairy tale, funny enough. But Shrek is an ogre, and at one point his annoying talking donkey sidekick says, I like that boulder. That is a nice boulder. I do agree. That is a nice looking boulder. That's going to help us adjust this fight a little bit better. 1, 2, 1, 2. No problems in moving just yet. 1, 2, 1, 2. Fine there. We're good for another turn. We step up. Okay, and I am going to want to start doing it like this. It's going to be like this. Dead, dead. And I do think I want to consider... This stack of hydras is dead. I think that we just want to move all the way out of the way. So to the very top and to the very top. Like so. One, 2. Like so. Aha! And then I think that now we're seeing that these hydras are kind of stacking on top of each other a little bit. I think that they're doing this on purpose because they're trying to stay together. It's kind of weird though, because this stack of hydras has to go all the way around or all the way this way if it really wants to do something. So if it goes, oh, and this is impassable, this is impassable. Yeah, these hydras are really in a bad spot. I'm guessing that they're going to try and go all the way around one way or the other. So let's just, I want to leave myself room to run just in case. If there's need to room to run, I can back this gentleman off. 1, 2. So I want to be right about here because I want to be in range to attack the hydras in just a moment. The terrain is really, really important here. Okay, 1, 2. So this peasant needs to back off. He shall. And we skip. We attack. Wait, was I not supposed to attack? Yeah, there's no need for me to attack. I'm not sure why I attacked. My bad. Because I'm gonna, if the enemy is close enough anyway, then we just have to hit them with a big stack of 150. We don't have to lose a peasant for the retaliation. I'm not sure why I lost 2 peasants there, but I've now lost 4 peasants over 2 fights. And if it's mathed out like I think it is, then I think that you can't lose a single peasant. And if that's the case, if that's the case, then we really have a problem. Okay, but we're doing much better than we were doing last time because we do have a stack of 151 peasants. We're going to need to play with terrain. We're going to need to play with single stacks. Now, how do we want our single stacks? It's a good question. Unfortunately, for Fix Fox, we only have 1 free creature left because I believe that Iron Golems have 30 hit points each, and that means that there is 2 stacks of 150 hit points. That means that we cannot separate the peasants more than this. It has to be just like that. Has to be. And I think that we have to hope that we get a little bit lucky. All things considered, I think that we actually have to hope that there's terrain that we can play around with. Does my big stack of peasants go on top or do they go on bottom? See, what I'm doing right now is I'm playing with the turn order in my mind, just trying to figure out when things are going to happen. I think I still want my single stack of peasant to go first. But that might be a mistake because I might want the single peasant to fill in after the rest of the fight. Because if you take 1 single hit here, you die. Tell you what, I am going to use a save. I'm going to use my save right now because I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. I just have to make sure that I fight this in the correct way. The terrain is perfect. It's flawless. This barrier is exactly what I need. Yep. And these guys are too far away. If this golem starts taking 1 step and lets this guy catch up, we're going to have some concerns, but otherwise this should be fine. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. This peasant actually needs to back off. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Skip. Skip. Because with 99 attack, you've got to do 150 points of damage and kill all of these golems at once. 1, 2, 1, 2. Got to back off. 1, 2. Okay, so we're going to skip here. Skip. And we do the damage. There's no damage calculations. There's no getting lucky with the damage here. Again, a very purposeful choice with 10 attack. With the defense. Defense is nominal. It's really all about whether or not you can avoid any attacks. And we've done so. We've done successfully. And so in theory, you can lose 5 peasants. You can lose 5 peasants and be successful on this road to victory as we pick up the basic leadership, because that would change things actually in a big way. But you can lose 5 peasants because you start off with 155 or 156. You have to have a big stack of 150. You can't go below that. Good to know. What a fun challenge. I love that. That was awesome. Okay, and we come to the Traveler's Tent, and we are going to save because that was what was recommended to us. We're going to do that, and we're going to move on to the next challenge. That's here with Lady Jackady, level 6, with her 1 ghost. Now, the trading post, I don't know how important that's going to be. So we're going to find out. A ghost? What do you hope to accomplish with 1 ghost against a whole army? Lady Jackady puts her glass of lemonade down in front of the tavern keeper and simply says, "Keep that for me," before heading outside of the tavern. This trading post is filling in as a tavern. I'm going to hope, let's see, do we need this observation tower? If there's a tent right here, I don't know if she's going to have enough movement points. I'm sure that this isn't like a trick. I'm sure that going to this observation tower is not a trick. It simply can't be. Okay. So So there is no reason for me to look at this fight any further. We have to go into this fight, and we have to go at it just like this. Actually, no, we have to look ahead. Interesting. I just realized we have to get this observation tower because we have to know what's in front of us. There's 6 hydras that are in the future. Those 6 hydras can be a problem. We've got 1 paralyze. Do you want to use your 1 paralyze now, or do you want to try and use it later? That is the question. So, ghosts, 5-speed creature. First off, let's see who's going to be faster than us. In this case, nobody's going to be faster than us. What's going to happen in this fight is it's going to be us against, probably we're going to go 1 ghost against 5 peasants first. That's going to be my easiest stack. And then I think that we actually want to focus on the rogues. You see, the issue is that rogues, rogues are also 5-speed creatures, but the rogues are going to not go first. Rogues will never go first in this fight because they're always going to have a 2-speed or a 3-speed or a 4-speed creature for us to deal with first. And so it's going to be not until we defeat all the peasants and the goblins and so on that we have to worry about this. Is the paralyze useful for this fight? Not necessarily. If you were to paralyze the iron golems, if you were to paralyze the rogues, then you could very safely take this fight and then just go into this fight with 30, 35, call it 50 ghosts, 51 ghosts potentially, if you take no losses. Is 51 ghosts enough to win you this fight? I think so. I think so. I think so. Yeah. So this is interesting because my question here is, should I use the paralyze in the second fight against Jury, who, by the way, she has 50 spell power. Oh my goodness. She has 50 spell power. 20 spell points, but 50 spell power. Until I know what kind of spells she has, I can't possibly figure out what to do here. Oh, there's a magic well. Look at this. There is a magic well here. And so because there's a magic well, we are going to be able to use our paralyze here. I think that simplifies the fight drastically. We're going to get through this checkpoint and then we're going to figure out what to do. But for now, yeah, we're going to use our paralyze. And yeah, we should have enough movement points. We've got 2,000. That should be enough. No problems. No problems. Who to paralyze? Do you want to paralyze the golems or do you want to paralyze the rogues? I think it's going to be the rogues, but let's find out. Because I think that if you paralyze the, if I paralyze the rogues, then I'll be able to fly back. Oh, it only lasts for 1 turn. Interesting. Because I have 1 spell power, the paralyze lasts for 1 turn. You probably want to play with speed a little bit more. We probably just want to go into this upper area, let troops come across. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to be 2 turns there. And then at that point, we can fly back across the map, use our flying ability against these ground-based troops, pick off the peasants, and then we're going to stay in this corner, let them come back. And it's going to be like sifting for gold. If you understand the concept, you go to a fast-moving body of water, and you will take a pan and you'll put it in the sand and the debris and the water, and you'll slowly sort of slough away the different layers of sediment and rock, and the gold, which is heavier, will fall to the bottom of the pan, and then everything else will be washed away. We're going to do something similar here. So we're going to go up, and we're going to wait 1 more turn. Skip. Something important to note. 3 attack, 0 defense, 1 spell power, no spells here. So attack and defense. Let's just plan on not taking any hits at all. 1, 2. These iron golems are too far away. Nice. Nice. And then so we continue our sluicing pattern. Perhaps we should actually go to here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I do want to try and isolate these goblins. If I can get the rogues to go this way, but the goblins to go this way, I'll be ideally set up. I think if I'm right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, rogues can actually Let's see. They're going to go before these golems, so they're going to have to go up, around to the left or to the right. 5. So we can just sit here in the corner and maybe the goblins will separate themselves a little bit. Not like I would have hoped. Six ghosts are doing about 1 iron golem's worth. How many can I pick up if I use my paralyze? I don't know. Let's slough it back. So I could paralyze right now and kill most of these rogues. Four, 5. If I go here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rogues are going to be close to me. Goblins, are the goblins going to be able to step in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They will be able to. How do I want to do this? I could always kill the goblins, use my paralyze here, kill the goblins, and then I should be able to overwhelm these rogues. Let's not make this too complicated. Let's do it just like this. We're going to kill all the goblins. We step up. We should kill 25 here, and then do 46 ghosts, kill all these iron golems. They do. Okay. All right. So that was just a matter of trying to play with distance, back and forth, and don't get hit. And I think that there might have been a way you could have done that without using the paralyze, but it would have taken a long time to try and get 1 square, 1 hex difference. And eventually you're going to get diminishing returns because in Heroes 2, the battlefield is so much smaller. I think in Heroes 3 that the battlefield's actually big enough that you could have done what I was trying to do there, but better. Eventually, I think you were going to have to use the paralyze. It worked out fine. Okay. Now, I'm going to save. This is exciting. Okay. Game saved successfully. To vanquish the sorceress, you'll need a big stack of ghosts. Who wrote that? Question mark. We are going to want to visit this magic well for sure. No question. So we do have our paralyze back. How is this fight going to go? Slow moving hydras. Don't even worry about the power lich. Just don't even worry about it. I think we kill sprites when they come to us. I think that we're going to have to take a little bit of a hit. And I do think I actually want 1 single stack of ghosts. Like, I just keep that 1 stack alive. Just feels like the play to me. I don't think I need multiple stacks, but I think you need 1 big stack. Will she have Destroy Undead? I'm guessing that she has Destroy Undead and that any single stacks of ghosts are going to be worthless. We were incredibly successful in the way that we fought the previous fight. I'm going to guess that with 20 spell power that she has, or 50 spell power. Oh, if she has 50 spell power and Destroy Undead, then 51 ghosts isn't going to survive, is it? Just in case, it doesn't cost me too much to just peel off this single stack just in case. So let's give this a shot. Oh no, I lost. Badly. I lost badly. Huh. Aha! Holy shout. What just happened, man? Okay. So, what if I have 51 ghosts here? Interesting. Interesting. So, you have to have a stack of 51 ghosts because turn 1, they're going to cast Holy Shout, and you're going to have 1 ghost left. Interesting. Capital. Capital. Now, I don't know how many sprites. I don't know how many sprites or how much damage these sprites will do. Assuming that, okay, we have 0 attack, 0 defense. I've got 0 attack, 0 defense, 7 defense versus 4 attack. So essentially it's going to be 15% reduced damage from these sprites. Let's just say that they all do 40 points of damage total. You could hope that the sprites are all going to hit for the absolute minimum amount of damage. I don't think you can hope for that. I know in this previous fight that is the way it went. No, it's not. The pre-battle indicated that we had killed 3 sprites, and that's because we had 1 ghost left. They go across the battlefield, they attack here, and then they get swarmed by dwarves and such. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can't go here. You can't go there. I think that we have to paralyze the hydras and kill a couple of these sprites, retreat, take the damage from whatever sprites are remaining, and then slowly feed off of dwarves and then hope that we can beat hydras. It feels bad to use my paralyze like this, but I don't trust that I'll survive this 1 stack of sprites. Is the paralyze so valuable though? I mean, 15% reduced damage. I mean, plan on them doing 40 points of damage. Like, plan on that and then say, okay, so they're going to do 36 instead. They're going to do 35, 34 damage at their top end. I think that 34 damage is the sprite's top end of damage, which is still plenty. Yeah, they would have to get horrible, horrible luck in order for the full stack to calculate doing an average of 1 point of damage. Plan on it being 1.5 points of damage, which would be 30 points of damage. Yeah, I think that we are obligated to cast Paralyze. I think we are obligated to attack. And even though the Paralyze isn't going to stick around, this is going to give us a chance to pick up 2 ghosts, and from here we can back off. We're going to take the damage from the sprites. We have to survive this. We do. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 6. The no retaliation's pretty bad. Okay, we're down to 4 ghosts. This is not good, but this is the path I've chosen. Okay, and now we're mostly going to get out of these sprites here. I say mostly. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I got to go all the way down here. I'll take whatever damage here, and we're gonna end up in this fight. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna end up in this fight with 15 ghosts, and now we got to separate the battle doors from the hydras. Okay, so we're at this point, we got 6 attack, 6 defense. We've got 8 attack, 7 defense. The interesting thing with the sprites is that because they have no retaliation, we weren't going to feed our stacks of ghosts in an easy way. We do have the advantage. 4 to 6 damage versus 2 to 4 damage. Battle dwarves, they do basically half the damage we do. 6 attack, 6 defense versus my 8 attack, 7 defense. Even though we have 5 less ghosts and our top stack only has 4 hit points, I still think that we win this fight against battle dwarves. Especially as we incorporate souls. Is it going to be enough to defeat the hydras? That's the question. We are going to want the first hit on these guys. Is this going to be my best shot here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'd have to go here at least. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This might be my best shot to get a bit of damage off. Okay, we just went even there. We're down to 20 ghosts. And now this will separate the battle dwarves from the hydras just a little bit better. 5 to 7. And we're up to 25 ghosts, down to 23, up to 29. Does 29 ghosts beat hydras? I think so. It says 1 to 2. We're going to do 110 to 165 damage. 8 attack, 9 defense versus 8 attack, 7 defense. Every hydra we kill is going to raise our numbers. We kill 2. We got 2 of the hydras on the first hit. That negated 1 extra hydra worth of damage. The enemy has fled. And we're going to call that a day. And I think that the important thing is that you have to cast Paralyze on the hydras at the very beginning. And you have to go flawless in this first fight. Because if you have 1 less ghost, you cannot take that other fight. So you have to be perfect here. You got to use the Paralyze up here correctly. And then you got to go from there. Very fun fight. What a fun fight. Interesting. What an interesting fight. Moucheron, Quipet? Sir. Il est très magnifique. Mwah. Wonderful. That used just about all the French that I have. But magnifique. Magnifique. Okay, so 2 down, more to go. I'm loving this. This is wonderful. Oh, and we're even going to get a look over here at, oh geez, this guy. We're not gonna look there. We're still going in this direction. Okay, but 2 down, 2 more to go on this side. Let's hit the save game because we've successfully fought through that fight. And let's go from here. It's going to be on to David. David has the archery. He's got the halflings. He's got the spell power with a couple of nifty spells. Let's see how this fight goes. Oh, against one giant named Goliath, 5 attack. The name of the game here is Don't Get Attacked. First sign says, it is said that a colossus guards this road. Maybe you should come back with reinforcements. As an answer, the hobbit opens his purse and reveals its content. Big rocks. I have everything I need. This is wonderful. Okay, and this is the fight? Oh, I think we have everything we need here. Yeah, I think so. Maybe you should keep your halflings in a single group. I don't know who wrote that, but I'm sure we can trust him. I think we can. Yeah, I think that all your halflings together, and the reason is this. Oh no, we lose. I disagree. Oh, look at the terrain too. The terrain is wonderful. No. This is wonderful because this fight is absolutely winnable. 100% this fight is winnable. No more spell points. The giants have 50 hit points left. It's going to take forever, but we can do this. Now, a couple of important things. Number 1, 10 defense to our 4 attack skill. Ideally, we want to slow this giant right now. We're going to slow them. So 2 speed, 3 speed, we are faster, and we're going to be faster for 7 turns. That's going to give us time to cast a lot of disrupting rays. I think that you want to bring the defense down all the way. I think all the way. And we're going to play around with this terrain. We're just going to play some ring around the rosy, as it were. I think I'm just going to go right. Well, let me cast my disrupting ray. Disrupting ray is going to reduce the defense by 3. Why am I not attacking here? You only have 12 shots. I want to make sure that all 12 of those shots count. Yeah, I want to make sure all 12 of those shots count. So we're not going to attack just yet. I think that that's a trap if you do. Oh no, you're so slow. Thank goodness, by the way, for the FHeroes2 team having the little number in the bottom right there indicating I have 5 more turns that giant is going to be slowed for. That's incredibly helpful. Thank you. One of the many reasons why FHeroes2 is the definitive way of playing Heroes of Might and Magic in this day and age. They are down to 1 defense. So let me look at this. We're going to have 40... We're going to have 39 spell points. If we have 39 spell points, that's going to be fine for me because the rest of these spells are going to be 3 costs. So I am going to do this one more time, and I am going to Disrupting Ray that very last bit of defense. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal for me to make this work. Which is better here, the haste or the slow? It doesn't matter. 2 speed, 3 speed, whether I'm hasted or whether they are slowed, I don't think it really matters to me. What does matter to me is that I am blessed. 2 speed, I'm going to bless. I'm going to attack. 1, 2. I could reapply the slow now, but I'm guessing, as indicated by the previous fights, I am guessing that we have a very specific amount of spell points and that someone has done the math. We're doing 4 points of damage. We're doing 4 points of damage at a time. Yeah, we're going to need to make sure that at the very end we're faster and they are slower. Let's wait to use that slow, maybe. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we're going to use the slow right now. I'm going to use the slow. There's no morale at play here. Just don't get touched. They go, I run. They go, I run. And this might look boring, but this is what peak performance looks like. Trust me. 1, 2. I think I actually attack here. I think I attack here. I think I slow them now because I think I'm going to have plenty of spell points for this fight. And not always, by the way, not always are you going to have this great terrain. In this case, I do, and I'm grateful for it. We've had great terrain for all of these fights. I think that that was also a purposeful decision, by the way. I think that that was intentional, that the terrain is so favorable. The bless wore off and I didn't even pay attention. Oh no. Let's slow again, because the reason why the bless matters is that every shot needs to be blessed. Every shot needs to be blessed. How many times did I do this without a blessed shot? But even without the train, I still think this fight is very, very winnable. You just have to be smart about it, and I think I'm demonstrating, and I'm sure that this is probably nothing new to the majority of the people that watch Heroes of Might and Magic here, but it's a very fun exercise. One halfling on the half damage is not going to do it. I think I missed a bless somewhere. I think I'm going to have to fight this fight again, unfortunately. 21 points of damage, 4 shots left. 1, 2, yeah. I think I missed one bless, which is it's too big of an error to overcome. Really, it is. It's too big of an error. 2 more. Let's do the bless. Shoot. Time to do the slow. And sprint. 13 with 2 shots. Yeah, I missed a bless. Darn. Darn it. I feel so silly. How could I have done that to myself? I just got busy talking, that's what it was. So we'll do better. We will do better. Because now with 1 shot left, I've got 9 points of damage. At least I saw it coming. At least I knew my mistake as soon as I made it. That gives me some bit of solace, but not much. Okay, so my last shot is going to do 4 points of damage, and you need to finish it off with the dagger shot. But at this point, with 1 or 2 non-blessed hits, then we're just simply up the creek without a paddle. And with that being said, I am happy to say that even though I knew the trick, if you don't play it perfectly, you're gonna have some problems. Do not save the game. What are you doing? That was close. Okay. Very interesting. Let's do that one more time, but this time let's do it flawlessly. So, you attack, you restart, and the terrain is the same, which is wonderful. I actually don't know the question, and maybe some of our French phenoms can actually help FixFox out here. I don't actually know if the map, tile set, and terrain is the same because you and the map editor were able to customize it. If you were able to customize that with the new FHeroes2 map editor, I won't be surprised, because the FHeroes2 team is making the map editor absolutely amazing, but I just don't know if that's accurate or not. 3, 2, 1. I didn't even do my disrupting rays. I got so excited I didn't even do my disrupting rays. Once again, FixFox, you're talking too much. But the train is, of course, wonderful, lovely. It's everything I need it to be. So, okay, back to the drawing board. The play is there. We just need to play it perfectly. That's all. And I really like that. So, a lot of times, Heroes of Might and Magic, I often feel like I have quite a healthy bit of... I feel like I have a healthy bit of leeway. I don't always have to play perfectly, and I really do like that. As an exercise in being exact and precise, I truly enjoy this. This is tickling all of the right parts of my brain here. But I'd like that base game Heroes of Might and Magic 2 is very much about, you know, there's a certain amount of oh, what do you call it? Leeway. You don't have to play perfectly all the time. I do actually enjoy that. That doesn't hurt my feelings too bad. And so I'm very interested to have this new and kind of more unique challenge, because I don't always get it. In fact, often I don't. That feels okay to me. I think that it doesn't hurt my feelings to just cast slow now. hit this. I guess that the haste, I guess I'm going to have enough. The haste is maybe just to help me not lose my mind. I don't think that spell points are going to matter that much, so I might as well use the haste. And that's going to help me run and shoot even better than I otherwise would have been able to. Like here. Let's just make sure. We got 3 turns, 4 turns. One more turn for the blast, so we hit it. Now we do have to skedoodle all the way over here. And then we are hasted, so thankfully we're faster than the giant. Jeez. That was less than ideal, but we made that work. So the bless is reapplied. And 1, 2, 1, 2. We can actually attack. We can actually attack and cast the haste in just a moment. Here. 1, 2. Might as well. So long as we're blessed, it doesn't hurt my feelings to do damage. We are blessed for one more turn. We're going to hit it. We are still hasted. I think that that means that we back off. 1, 2. No, because we're still going to be 5 speed. They're going to be 4 speed in just a second. So we just need to do a bless. We need to hit them. 3 shots left. We need to run away. I guess I can slow you now. 5 more turns on the blast. That's going to be plenty. Here. 1, 2. Here. And then max damage. I should do 3 points of damage, and that's going to kill the giant. Again, well designed. This, okay. The other day, I was on Reddit, and somebody asked about FHeroes2 and whether or not it was good or not. And one of the things I tried to specifically mention to this individual who I don't know is I was trying to tell them, take a look at the map editor as well, because there's wonderful usage and functionality that otherwise did not exist prior. And I think that that's on full display here. I think that you would have not been able to create such a very interesting and engaging map like this if you didn't have the hard work from the FHeroes2 developers. And so I'm glad that this can be the poster child for what can be done with a very powerful map editor. And I hope that the FHeroes2 team feels satisfied knowing that they are doing some rather fantastic things. I'm a big fan of it, and I hope that they feel very enthused with the work that they're doing, because I sure enjoy it. Okay. Alrighty. 1, 2, 3 down. A couple more to go. That's kind of interesting. There's a little bit of a hole there. Here's the thing. There is no such thing as a misplaced hole. Every hole is purposeful. So somebody meant to put that there. And the fact that I can walk there is just kind of interesting. I mean, I can walk there. What if there was like something that would let me avoid this fight and I could just walk on the hole and it gave me a spell scroll for Dimension Door or something? That'd be pretty interesting. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's likely, but anyway. Lord Pixo is a war veteran. Yes, he is. He survived many campaigns, especially in Heroes of Might and Magic 1. Whether it was in the heart of a barbarian countries or far in the frozen lands of Antagarich. And that's why Lord Gears trusts him to win an impossible fight. That, or he can't stand him at all. I don't think that this is going to be an impossible fight. I don't see how it could be. I do have to step here, though. Please forgive me. I need to take a detour. I just need to make sure that there's nothing here. There's no such thing as a misplaced hole in Heroes of Might and Magic. So the Spade of Necromancy increases your skill. It's not going to help us in this fight. We don't have enough movement points to get to the gold tent. This has to be a reload, but that is hilarious. That's funny, and I appreciate that very much. I'm very glad I went out of my way to make that happen. Okay. Back to the fight. That's just awesome. So Level 5 hero. Look at this. So much like the fight over here where the enemy had 99 attack skill, this is an invitation for us to never get hit. With 20 attack skill, we want to never be hit. We got 2 fights ahead of us. Oh geez. First off, let's see what our spells are. We have Cold Ring. That's it. 6 speed, 4 speed. Fastest creatures here, I believe, are the 5 speed Royal Mummies, followed up by the 4 speed Mummies and the Goblins. And then there are the 3 speed 30 Orcs. Huh, there's a well on the way there. There's an artifact. Who knows what this is all going to bring, but so there's going to be some new strategy here. But while we are able to survive this fight, probably, you must have a pretty good force for this upcoming fight because there's a Phoenix and this gentleman has 20 spell points. Aragox has 20 spell points. Nemesis does have 10 spell points. Whether or not that's going to be important or not, I don't know. It's going to be much harder to keep the Rangers alive in this fight because they're only 4 speed. It's not going to be as hard to keep the Elves alive. So I think that you have to do this. I think that you have to game plan for the Elves. So the Elves have to be on their own because there's not going to be any problem with them. They're going to be just fine. And then I think that you keep... I think you have 2 single stacks of Rangers. I think you have 2 single stacks of Rangers to try and just get in the way. And you sacrifice a couple troops. If you're going to do that, maybe you sacrifice 3, just in case. Because these Grand Elves can walk all around the map, and they can potentially never be touched. So priorities here in this fight are going to be number 1, 30 Orc Chieftains have to die. Then the Royal Mummies. Then Goblins and Mummies, yeah. I don't know exactly how this fight's going to go, but I think that I've got the right general strategy in mind. This might go very different depending on if the enemy has a spell that I'm unaware of. So for now, turn 1, I think you have to fight Orc Chiefs. I think that in the future, I actually want to have the Grand Elves right here. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, because of the 5 speed here, I can already tell you that I need the Grand Elves in the very center. So let me just adjust that. Because that is... There's no sense in fighting the fight. I already know that there has to be a difference. And you can say, well, FixFox, how do you know that? And really, it comes down to being able to stay alive for an additional round of combat. I don't think it matters where the big stack of Rangers is. I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's find out. Okay. So again, priorities here, but now, oh, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The only safe spot is here in the middle. So maybe you actually want to have the Rangers be in the center. I don't know. Let's start killing Orcs because Orcs hurt. Paralyze! Paralyze. Paralyze, huh? Well, tell you what, I'm not a smart man, but I know that Cold Ring can actually do me a lot of good here. It seems dumb. But I think that you have to lose 2 Elves just so you can keep everything else alive. I don't think that it actually behooves me to try and kill these Orc Chiefs. I think I actually want to kill these Royal Mummies. I got a couple of other Elves. They can do a little bit of damage to these Orc Chiefs. I think I just have to stay alive long enough. By the way, there is no more spell points here, so we're good on that. Let's have the rest of our Rangers try and kill these Orc Chiefs where possible. Knowing that there's a Paralyze and knowing that there's this split, I might have even had 23 Rangers here and then like 4 here. So that way I could kill these Orcs a little bit better. Yeah, that's an additional 5 Elves I really didn't want to lose. That's 6 Orc Chiefs remaining. I think that you just need to focus on the ground troops that are going to start causing you some grief in a moment. Interesting. The enemies are crowding around the Rangers as if they're the primary threat. I suppose I have to believe them if that's their estimation. The AI usually does a really good job of correctly prioritizing damage threats. I just don't think that these damages are going to be fine. What do the losses look like? 6 and 7? Let's give it a shot. Let's see if 6 and 7 losses are going to be okay or not. Okay. It looks like the Necromancer lost something. Oh, a gold watch that doubles the effectiveness of our Hypnotize spell. Oh, look, a spell scroll with the Hypnotize spell. Huh. Oh, look, a witch doctor's hut, +1 on the knowledge. An orcish witch doctor living in the hut deepens your knowledge of magic by showing you how to cast stones, read portents, and decipher the intricacies of chicken entrails. And that's going to increase our magic points. We're back up to full. We've got 40. We've got 40. And now with the Hypnotize, that means we've got 1 cold ring and 2 Hypnotizes. Interesting. Interesting. We're going to take so much damage. You got to be in spread formation because you don't want to take double damage from the Phoenix. You've got rogues who, if you hypnotize them, cool, you get the damage of 5 rogues, but they can't remove a retaliation like the boars or the phoenixes can. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to hypnotize the phoenix with 4 spell power. I forget how that works. I need Steeson to help me out with that. And it's important knowledge because you want to make sure you got your splits correct. I think that we're going to want to split the Rangers in 2. I think we even want to split the Elves in 2. Maybe we want to split the Elves into 3, actually. And so that way the Phoenixes can't just key in on us. Yeah, I think I like this in general for this upcoming fight. Why have 3 stacks instead of 1? If you have 3 stacks, you don't feel obligated to use a cold ring on yourself to wake up some of your own troops. You might potentially take less damage from an enemy Phoenix attack. You may be able to scatter a little bit more effectively and make a fight go long enough that you can win. There is no bless here at play. If we had a bless, I would probably keep my troops in one big single stack. But we don't, so I'm not going to worry about that as much. And this just feels appropriate to sort of spread the damage. And we're going to want our 4-speed Rangers in the middle or on the sides. If they're in the corners, they're harder to get to. But once an enemy jumps on them, they're very much dead. I think I like this the way it is. I think I do. I'm excited and terrified to see what spell comes out. Oh no. Okay. And the fact that it's a mass bless makes me think that the damage calculations are very precise. Shoot. Hate it when that happens. Okay. Who can we hypnotize? We could hypnotize the Phoenix. It would last a couple turns. Brings a single enemy unit under your control if it hits are less than 25 of the spell. So yeah, spell controls up to 200 HP. Giants are immune to mind spells. You cannot hypnotize the giants. That's never going to be a thing. We might want to hypnotize... Well, you've got 2 hypnotizes to play with. That's it. Oh. Oh. Yeah, hold on. So once again, I don't know if this terrain was purposeful or not. But if this terrain was purposeful or not, then the boars are the clear choice. Well, they're not the clear choice, but they're the choice I'm going to make. Actually, that was probably a mistake. I probably should have still gone for the Phoenix. You need a 2-hex creature. Let me show you what I mean in just a second. I don't want to attack this Phoenix. I don't want to take the damage because it's going to be 40 damage. So we're just going to move kind of to over... Let's see, where does it matter? Where ought I to go? I don't want to move into range of these rogues. I don't think I can help it. I'll take the damage from rogues if necessary. But if I sit here with this tree, this space is now blocked off. The Hypnotize is going to last for 4 turns. That gives me time to pump these phoenixes full of lead. That's going to be down to 37 HP. This is going to kill that phoenix dead. Then my 2 stacks of rangers can get some damage off. And the giants are stuck. The giants are not going to come this way. And I'm going to have all the time in the world to pump them full of damage. So this is the correct play. I think that this small stack of rangers, or the smaller stack of rangers, I'm going to devote them to picking off these rogues so the rest of us can rain hell upon these giants from afar. Yeah, that just feels like the best choice. If I attack with the boars, then the Hypnotize spell goes away. So we do not attack. We've got 3 more turns. We skip. And we focus on the giants. Focus on the giants. We've just killed 1 giant. Okay. Oh, what a nice spell. So they're up to 13 defense skill now. That's a good choice on their part. I support that decision. I hate that decision for me personally, but I do think that that was the right decision. How many spell points left? 5? I don't know. I don't know. This could be a little bit nifty. It looks like boars are always going to get to go first, so we do need to reapply this Hypnotize next turn. So we're going to get 1 more big bit of damage off here. But yeah, geez. That stone skin does hurt quite a bit. But we're down to 3 giants. We're going to skip on these boars right now, because it doesn't matter whether I reapply now or later. I am going to reapply the Hypnotize now, just so that way I don't forget. Because if the boars move, then the giants are free. I shouldn't have any problem with shots here. I got plenty of shots. And if you don't get this terrain, winning this fight feels tough. Do I say impossible? Probably not impossible, but tough. So you really kind of got to know this trick. This battle here feels like a little bit of a knowledge check. And I don't hate that. I really don't. I do not hate that. I'm going to have the boars attack the giants in just a moment. I'm actually going to start working on the boars, because the giants are going to take a little bit of time to get down the battlefield. They're going to skip 1 more turn. We're going to call that a day. Glorious victory. 6 rangers lost. We'll call that okay. That was pretty good. Again, though, if you don't get that terrain, that strategy does not work nearly so well, and that's a bit of a problem. On to the gold tent. Zapixo, well done. You truly are a veteran of many past wars, and I tip my hat to you, one legend to another. All right. Legend implies that I've been here for a while, and I really haven't, so maybe I should calm down, and we'll come back to that another day, another time. Okay. All the same, let me save this. The Great Return. What a fun deal. So much fun. Okay, tell you what, speaking of legends, let's go for Sir Winnymaru and see what he's got for us. We talked about this fight a little bit more. 70 spell points, 6 spell power, teleport, resurrect. I think that this is going to be a pretty tricky fight. I do think it is. I'm going to use Saracen actually to go grab this observation tower. Tell you what, we're gonna use Saracen first, just because I want to get this sign and then the observation tower, and then we'll go from there. So we are gonna go kind of in this counterclockwise position, but we're gonna save Winnymaru for last. Saracen is a master of diplomacy. His army, it's all troops he paid to join him while traveling. The trick, he says, is to have a lot of money and, most importantly, to never forget to leave an empty space in your army. Only a novice would make that mistake. With such an army, nobody could beat him, right? I don't know. This is a level 11 hero with 10 attack, 10 defense, 5 spell power, 5 knowledge, 2 red dragons, 25 ogre lords, 25 Medusa, 15 war trolls, and 10 power liches. This fight is going to be the most volatile of any of them, and I'm sure it will be. And here's how I mean. I've got horrendous morale. You've got horrible morale. Treason on both sides. Treason, I tell you. I like the little nod there to having room in your army at all times. There's no enemies here that we can have join us. We have no gold, so there's no sense in dismissing a full stack of creatures. I don't think I'd want to do that anyway. All these forces are going to be valuable. You don't want to dismiss anybody. You want to go pick up this luck. We have found an ancient and weathered stone idol. Kissing it is supposed to be lucky, so you do. The stone is very cold to the touch. Thank goodness for that, at least. Magic arrow, stone skin, dragon slayer. Dragon slayer, that is going to be the play, potentially. And it's going to just come down to how the fights work out. The only thing that matters is let's make sure we are on split, sort of, what do you call it? Spread formation. Okay, and before we go into fight, you actually do need to pay attention to one thing here. And here's what you have to pay attention to. Do you believe that 2 red dragons, if they get to go, are going to fight the battle door, or are going to fight the 150 orc chiefs or the 21 magi? Because if you assume that they're going to go for the magi, then potentially you're going to be out of position to respond to those dragons if they do go for the orc chiefs. I don't know which one they're going to prioritize. 50 spell points. Let's just dive in and see what's up. Okay, so it's a loss. And they get to go first, and it's going to be a slow on the veteran pikemen. Alrighty. 10 attack, 10 defense. So 23 defense versus our 11 attack skill. The Dragon Slayer is going to increase your attack skill by 6. Right now, the Magi are my highest attack skill creatures, but they're still not going to be doing bonus damage against the Red Dragons. It's just going to prevent them from doing even worse. Oh my gosh, what in the world? He has the Battle Garb of Andurin. Blood Morale, Irish Luck, 10 attack, 10 defense, 5 spell power, 5 knowledge. I thought that I thought things would be different, and obviously they're not. The magic arrow, I can't possibly see the magic arrow being useful. 10 knowledge, sure, but doing only 20 points of damage at a time, I just don't see that being very useful. There's a couple of different philosophies here. Number 1, take out the biggest, baddest enemy right now. That's never a bad idea. Option 2, what if you try and work on their shooters and deal damage to the red dragons that are going to jump into your area here? It's easy to say, look, I've got Dragon Slayer, I should use it and kill these dragons. I would counter that by saying, well, what are the rest of these troops going to do? You know, they're going to slowly walk down the battlefield. I think you actually want to just wait. Let the dragons attack the Magi and start working on these creatures. You don't want to attack the Power Liches because they've already gone this turn, but you probably do want to attack them because they can do the AoE damage. So do you attack them? Do you not? Tough to say. The War Trolls. War Trolls, much like Vampire Lords, you have to deal with early in a fight because of their ability to regenerate. Now, Vampire Lords can come back from completely devastating losses. You can have just one Vampire Lord left and they can potentially replenish their stack with their Leech Life ability. Trolls, less so in that high-end capacity. They are never going to regenerate a full troll, but they will go back up to 40 hit points at the beginning of each turn. So you got to kill as many of these guys as possible. I think, unfortunately for me, that indicates to me that while I want to get the damage on the red dragons, I feel like I need to deal with the war trolls. The only thing to consider is this. Oftentimes when you're playing with the sorceresses, you'll have the elves and you'll have the druids, and it does matter which troops attack which, because again, attack skill, 11 attack skill versus 3 attack skill. All these orc chiefs, you know, they'll do damage, but 15 defense, 23 defense. I think that you want the Magi to actually focus on the Power Liches, because the high defense of the Power Liches, you have to counteract that as much as you can with these Magi. I think you do. I think you ought to. I truly do. Yeah, I think so. So, by the way, Dwarves in the middle, they can go north, they can go south. The only problem is that the Griffins are in the wrong spot because of the terrain. And so if the dragons do go south, and I mean, we already saw the Power Liches focused on Orc Chiefs. Well, in that case, then Dwarves don't get to attack. Tough fight. Interesting fight. I hope that the dragons are going to go for the Magi, but I just don't think that I can justify that. 140, let's just call it 150 damage from the Magi versus 3 to 4 here. Yeah, Orc Chiefs are clearly the better stack of creatures. Clearly. So let's just plan on red dragons attacking here to the south against these Orc Chieftains. And then, with that being said, then let me plan on just killing War Trolls. Let me stone skin the Orc Chiefs, accurately kind of predict where this fight's going to go. And let's focus on 20 attack skill War Trolls. And then hope that we get to take our turns. Okay. Nice to... Hate you. Hate you. Although, okay. I immediately am displeased because the dragons have gotten 2 bits of damage off, and that was 236 points of damage. That's a lot of damage, but that means that the dwarves are going to be able to do... They're only going to do 30 to 60 damage. At least the dwarves do get to do damage this turn. That is something. And the Orc Chiefs, who still are pretty good... Oh, gosh. The Orc Chiefs, who are still pretty good, hopefully are going to get their turn this go around. I don't know if they will, but at least we got a chance here. Okay. They don't. 14 Magi. There's 43 HP worth of red dragons here. I think it's actually worth it to cast the Dragon Slayer. Sounds crazy, but I think it's worth it. Ideally, I just have to have this stack of Veteran Pikemen not be slowed by the end of this fight. With 50 spell points left, that's not going to happen, though. Because then I could Magic Arrow the enemies to death 20 hit points at a time. It's not going to happen. I think I do want to cast the Dragon Slayer on the Magi just to ensure that I do kill one dragon. Because if I didn't, it's very unlikely that I would kill that one red dragon. I got to take care of this guy today. I think I actually want to send the Battle Dwarves down to engage with these Power Liches. I think that... I think you do want to start working on War Trolls. Again, you got to take them down as much as you can. We failed there. Doesn't feel good. Not doing as much damage here as I would like. We can't kill him yet. There's 16 hit points here. Let's kill up to 3 more War Trolls. We do kill a couple. Liches get the good luck. Dragons get good morale. This is so bad. I hate this so much. This is horrible. I hate this. I hate everything. Okay. 27 hit points left on the red dragons. Somebody will deal with them. Let's stone skin the dwarves so they can stay alive. Start doing damage to Power Liches. Oh, we got good luck. Hey, we got good luck. Great. 15 hit points left on this War Troll. Griffins are gone. That's a big loss. We do finally kill the dragon. And so now we got 11 Magi who can do some damage. And the Medusa stepping up actually is kind of a big deal, maybe? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's not that big of a deal. It's not great, but it's not that big of a deal. I feel like stone skins are pretty important here. But at this point, I got so many spell points. I've got so many spell points. I'm going to try and protect my best stack, and that is my veteran pikeman at this point. It truly is. Yeah, and when the enemy Medusa back off, that immediately makes me think, oh, shoot. Because they know that they've got this win looking pretty healthy for them. 3 attack seal, 15 defense, 23 defense, 19 defense, 15. I think that you want to, I want to kill one war troll, but my high end of damage here is only 44. Highly unlikely I kill a war troll here. Do I take the for sure thing and put some damage onto Ogre Lords? I think I ought to. I'm going to have to at some point. And then I'm going to start magic arrowing. I got to take out these war trolls as much as possible. We're bleeding damage there. Veteran pikemen are still in not a good spot. Ogre Lords are going to kill all 7 battle dwarves here, for sure. For sure. Last time they killed 17. So you might as well... Do you stay alive? I don't think that the Ogre Lords are going to pursue us. Yeah, and they don't. So staying alive is actually better than just staying to die. Funny enough. 29 HP left. It's unfortunate. What an interesting fight. And I hate it. Okay. At least we're not slowed, but I'm surprised we haven't been slowed yet. Again, feel obligated. Gotta kill some trolls. Ogre Lords are going to go next. Gotta kill Ogre Lords. Gotta hope you can stand toe-to-toe with them. 12 defense, 19 attack. They're still going to do bonus damage, but you gotta kill the whole stack. And I don't think I'm going to have enough... Shoot. Ugh. I'm not going to have enough ranged damage to deal with 20, just... like it's nothing. I can kill one war troll here. I think I will spend my last 7 battle dwarves on that, even though we go down to the Medusa immediately. 34 hit points there. No, let's not worry about that. This is not good. Okay, so this is going to have to be refought. We have to refight this fight. It's not even a, oh, wouldn't it be nice? It's a mandatory. Okay, so things that we can potentially do different here. We can potentially do this. Power Liches with 23 defense, don't attack them physically. Shoot them with the highly reliable, but also feels bad kind of to get hit with it. Magic Arrow. 20 points of damage again and again. Defense does not counteract a Magic Arrow. Every 2 Magic Arrows is going to be 1 Power Lich. You cast 20 Magic Arrows. Am I really contemplating casting 60 spell points worth of Magic Arrows? 60 turns worth of damage from the Power Liches? Power Liches are killing 3 pikemen at a time. How can you justify that? Here's how I can justify that. Because with 15 defense versus 23, I can actually do some damage to War Trolls, to Ogre Lords. Medusa are not great, but, you know, you can do something there. I think that you need to leave the Power Liches to your spells. It's bad because with only 2 spell power, our Stone Skins, you want to reapply them every second of every day because you need all that defense. You really do. Like, you need it, but you just don't have it. We did fight the fight better, but, I mean, you look at all these losses and you look at the you know, what did we kill? Not that much. Really, not that much. Okay. Okay. So I can tell you right now, I need to think outside of the box. I feel like there's potentially a strategy that I am missing here. Only a novice would make that mistake. Never forget to leave an empty space in your army. Is that a trick? Is that a tip? Are 76 battle dwarves actually useless? No. I don't think that... I talked about it earlier. I don't think that you can justify leaving any troops behind. We do pick up the observation tower. We must pick up the idol. Well, we can, of course, think outside the box. Sometimes being a diplomat is to accept that you are a terrible commander and to avoid useless fights. I love this scenario, and I feel so bad because the replayability is a little bit low. I feel so bad for anybody that watched this video and you didn't get to experience it for the first time for yourself. Oh, I need to find a way to put a disclaimer at the beginning of this video. But after the first fight or two, I think that anybody who's really interested, they will check and they will see and they will realize, oh, wait a second, hold on, let's fight this fight ourselves. I love this. Wonderful. Fantastic. And look, here's the thing. You have to step on the idol in order to go here. You can't just click past unless you're on the idol. The idol is like a barrier between you and this place. So you can't just automatically path to the purple tent. Zutalars! Très magnifique. That's fantastic. Okay. Tell you what, I need a 2-minute break because my brain hurts. So let me hit the pause button. Let me come back in about 5 minutes. Let me eat some food, get my blood sugar back up, and then I can continue with this wonderful scenario. Be right back. Okay, and we are back. So let me make sure. I don't know if I saved before the break or not, but let's do that real quick. And then we've got a couple of different other forces, and now is my honor as Lord Fix the Fox the Knight to get to this portion of the playthrough. Really, to all the folks, all my French phenoms out there, I am grateful for the opportunity to be here. Thank you so very, very much. It is my honor. I am deeply honored to have made it into this wonderful, fantastic scenario. I am blown away and grateful. Thank you. Let's figure this out. Now, gotta tell you, this is kind of interesting, and I didn't touch on this before. Our duration spells are going to last for 5 turns total because the Enchanted Hourglass basically increases the duration of all spells by an additional 2 turns. So 5 turns total for all these spells, but I don't think we really have a damaging spell. Yeah, we don't really have a damaging spell. So interesting that we decided to use the Enchanted Hourglass rather than just give me 5 spell power. I'm not too sure why that would be. If I had like a magic arrow, or if I had a cold ray or a lightning bolt, I could understand, because then you're saying, well, I want the damaging spell to be only this good, but I want your utility spells to last much longer. I don't know. But with this upcoming fight, this looks like this is going to be us, Lord Fix the Fox. And I'm a little bit excited for this sign. Let's see what we got. Lord Fix and his close guard are Enroth's most valiant knights. They're very impressive with their shiny golden armors. Well, except for the 3 of them who don't have one. They couldn't afford it. It's really expensive, you know. I agree. It would be sad if something bad happened to them. They plan to buy one with the pay of this mission. Okay, so I feel like that's an invitation to not lose a single troop. But there is a difference. There's a massive difference between the double damage from the Crusaders and the lowlier damage of the Paladins. This fight is interesting for this reason. You're going to have to clean up the 25... What do you call it? You're going to have to clean up the zombies at some point anyway. That's a given. But if you can isolate the bone dragons, you can be in a really good spot. One thing that we haven't discussed yet that is a critical game element is this. And by the way, I love that this scenario makes me discuss all of these elements. If you slow a flying creature, they no longer fly, in essence. They can still bypass terrain barriers. They can fly over those, I believe. But for the bone dragons in this case, we're going to get to go first. I think that our very first spell has to be the mass slow. It simply must be this mass slow. And then maybe we do use a bless. Maybe we then use the mass haste. No, I think that you're going to want probably 2 applications of the mass slow, possibly. I think that one concern I have is this. I don't think I want to lose a single paladin. I don't think that you need to do single stacks like we did for the peasants. I think that you just want to have base level damage and just hit these guys as hard as you can. Especially knowing that the Crusaders are 6-speed creatures and the Paladins are 5-speed creatures. So I don't think that we do any splits. I don't think it matters where we put our troops. I think that we just need to not outfox ourselves. And we need to fight this fight. I truly believe that we just need to fight this fight. I just realized, could we have just walked around this enemy? I don't think so. There's no way we could do that twice, right? Anyway, mass slow. So all these enemies are very, very slow for another 5 turns. I think that the bone dragons are all going to try and get to these Crusaders. And so I think I want to try and get them to all go to either the top or the bottom. Let's go to the bottom so that way the Paladins can be here and support and they can help us fight this fight a little bit better. By the way, Zamzam, Lejay, the Necromancer, 13 attack. That's an invitation to me to not get hit even once. So let's go to the very bottom of the map here. No morale for the enemies. Do we have any morale? We've got good morale. Oh my goodness, we have good morale. Oh no, but it says normal. You have the good morale on your hero to counteract the bad morale from the bone dragons. I see what you did there. Again, so many very purposeful decisions. I believe that this map took a lot of game testing in order for it to really turn out good. So, excellent map. Excellent. Because the bone dragons are all 4 speed, and because these zombies are now 2, they are crawling in speed. I think that we just need to get our damage off. If we bless, how big of an impact is that? Do we kill 1 full stack? No, we just kill 2, and then we take the retaliation, and then we kill some more. Huh. Is that the best play? I don't think that... Well, hold on. Hold on. I just realized. Interesting. We can play around. We need single stacks. We can play around with hasting a single stack of Paladins to eat the retaliation so then my big stack of Crusaders can come on in and kill them in one go. I know my strategy, and so I'm not going to fight this fight out. Yes, FixFox just ran away, but I understand. I understand differently now. And it's got to go like this. You've got to have your 3 stacks to the top, and you got to have your 1 big stack of Crusaders to the bottom here. And so that way we go when we fight, we do a mass slow right off the bat. This time we're going to go to the top because our single stacks of Paladins are kind of more to the top. But you got a mass slow, move to the top. You're going to want to go right about here. We're going to have to wait. Actually, I just realized. We're not going to be able to attack first thing next turn. We're going to have to go to just kind of here. We hope that all the bone dragons just go forward. They do. Zombies are doing whatever. Okay, great. And then we have to start hasting one by one. We're going to haste here. And we're going to back off. We're going to skip, skip, skip. Okay, perfect. And now these Paladins are much faster. The zombies are crawling. These guys are not much faster. I think we're going to take the damage from the zombies. I don't think I can help it. Oh, I didn't bless. I meant to bless. I should have blessed. If you bless, you kill the full stack. Yeah, if you bless, you kill the full stack. Let me do this again. But you can see, you have to play around not with a mass haste, but you have to play around with the single haste to single haste them one by one by one. Very interesting. Okay. Stop. Here. Yeah, this is my kind of fun. This is my kind of fun. To which I'm sure that many people can reply, FixFox, I'm sure you're very fun at parties. And the answer to that is no, I'm not. I'm more fun in a low stress sort of situation. You know, we're just having a nice time, spending time together. That's my idea of a nice time. You know? Yeah, my idea is less of go wild and crazy and more of let's just enjoy the atmosphere and each other's company. By the way, I noticed that the zombies had gone up to the north last time, and so I didn't go all the way to the top because I am trying to isolate bone dragons, and so these single stacks of zombies or these big stacks, I don't think I can eat one full bit of damage. Yeah, with 13 attack, they should kill one Crusader. I'm guessing that that's the play. So for now, let me consider. I think I do haste now, then bless, and then we go from there. So we go skip, 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 skip. Yeah, you gotta haste now, so that way they get to go first. We should be in range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, we are. We're gonna end up blessing our Crusaders. We're gonna do the damage. We're gonna play around with this distance here. We kill 2 and 2. And then stay alive, my friends. Oh, we will have to find a way to get them nice shiny armor. As much as I wish that I could get them shinier armor, they're just gonna have to wait for that. Two turns left. This is not ideal because of the haste. The haste there was a little bit of a miss on my part. Okay, I'm blessed. I'm hasted. You're slowed. I'm going to, once again, I'm just going to do the single slow. I'm going to reapply that to this bone dragon. We're going to take our hit. We're going to keep our big stack of the Crusaders alive. And then these zombies are going to end up going 1, 2, what, like 2 spaces in just a second. That's not going to hurt my feelings too bad. And if I go all the way down to the bottom, then I think I'm still going to be able to go haste, go all the way down, go all the way down. And even though these zombies are a little faster, I think I'm still going to have enough distance to do my strategy one more time. One more time. Da, 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 da. It's time to celebrate. Oh yeah, all right. And the only thing that would be that I could possibly complain about, if I had one little bit of terrain, I don't think I would have to take a single hit off of these Crusaders. But as you can tell, the bless just expired. I think that we kill all these zombies in one fell swoop. We're not going to lose this fight here. For bonus points, I could lose no Crusaders at all. In fact, for bonus points, I could make sure that we don't even get touched. But that will do. That will do. Unfortunately, 4 of my valiant Knights and Paladins have gone down, but the fight is won. There was an Ultimate Sword of Dominion that is gone at this time. What would FixFox personally take? In my life, what would I take? I would take the scouting. I would take the estates. Over ballistics? Yeah, I would take estates in my own personal life. What good is it for FixFox to try and tear down an enemy's castle walls? First off, I have to have an enemy for me to think that tearing down a castle wall would be a good idea. I don't have any enemies, as far as I'm aware. This would be a great time for somebody to come out of the woodwork and say, FixFox, sorry to break your ignorance, but it shall not stand. You have to know that there's a problem. Okay. And folks, I love that we get to end here with Winnymaru. Sir Maru Baba the Knight. 6 of the Greater Druids, 6 of the Master Swordsman. We do have the teleport, the resurrection, and I have to see what this sign has to say for us. Winnymaru is always up for an adventure. Unless it involves dwarves, there has to be a little bit more story there than I'm familiar with. He's the tactician of the group. In fact, he's the one who planned the actions of every other heroes of the group, which also means he's the one we'll blame if something goes wrong. Perfect. Okay, Harry Potter. Is that like... Well, we don't want to get sued, so we're not going to say who we think that might be. Hello there, it's Harry Potter. Okay, we have a couple of decisions here. Do you want to keep all your troops together, or do you want to split them up? I think it's obvious that with the Resurrected, we want to keep them together, especially because of the teleport. Although, we might want to split the Druids into 2 stacks. This big stack of Swordsman is actually my primary group. I think with the 2 stacks of greater druids, this is 75 hit points. It's going to be a lot harder for the enemy to overwhelm me in that way. I could potentially just drain tank the damage. Well, drain tank is the wrong word. I could potentially just resurrect my way through the damage. How many? 0 attack, 0 defense, 2 knowledge, 3 spell power. I wonder if there's going to be some major spells here. If there are, that's going to be a problem, but otherwise, 50 gargoyles, I think that we can just split our forces and we just have to keep the Master Swordsman alive. Speaking of which, though, this is very, very, very important. If you lose all of your troops at one point or another, you cannot resurrect them and win the battle. Let me say that again. If your forces are all defeated, resurrection is not permanent. This is the 5th level spell. The 6th level true resurrect will resurrect troops permanently for the rest of the time that they're in the game. But you will not win this fight, and therefore you will not take the tent if all of your forces are lost. And I think that the way that it works here in FHeroes2, based off of Island of Chaos, Scenario 3 and the Price of Loyalty. I remember I lost Phoenixes and I tried to resurrect the top stack. Doesn't work like that. As many troops as I lose, if I lose 6 troops worth of Master Swordsman, I just lose the whole stack and it will not persist with me through the end of the battle. So for that reason, I'm actually kind of considering, do I split off single stacks like this just to kind of keep people alive? I think that the Master Swordsman is my power stack. They're the ones who are going to do the most damage. They're going to do full damage. Druids are going to do half damage pretty much this entire fight. But the Master Swordsman, they can do something. Because of the teleport, I'm wondering if doing stacks like this is actually better. I don't know. I think I like this well enough. It's 50 gargoyles. It's 50 gargoyles. Maybe some spells. I think I like this. So let's see what we can make happen. I anticipate that the greater druids are going to get swamped first. And then it's always going to be Master Swordsman last because they are 5-speed creatures. Everybody else on the battlefield is a 6-speed creature except for the Master Swordsman. Harry Potter has 3 spell power, 2 knowledge. No sense in doing it. Oh. That would work. I've changed my mind. There is something else that will work, I believe, that I want to try before I try what I was just about to do. A strategy that just feels better to me. Here's what it is. Is that going to work? Yeah, it should work. I think. Will it work? Yeah, it'll work. Yeah, this should be fine. Just do it like this. We're going to have our 6 greater druids in closed formation, sitting behind these two other stacks. And then at the very beginning of the fight, we're going to use one of our teleports. We're going to teleport this Master Swordsman in front of the Greater Druids, and they're going to act as a door. That's what we're going to do. Seems weird, but I think that this is actually the way that I want to fight this fight. I think that that's the tactic, because then my Greater Druids, I mean, I mentioned that, oh, well, you know, the Greater Druids aren't going to be that good because they're going to be doing half damage the entire time. Unless you get the ranged or the flying creatures off of them. And we're going to get to go first, because who goes first? 6-speed Gargoyles or the 6-speed Greater Druids? It's whoever the attacker is. That's the default. And so we get the start here. We're going to be able to teleport our gate in front of us. Whoop. And I just have to hope that these troops last in a way that I'm going to be able to pump out the damage and be alive. I'm guessing that they're going to be doing 60 points of damage pretty consistently, but okay, there's a curse. Don't hate that. 8 points of damage. 16. Thank goodness they're attacking this top stack first. 14. Okay. So I think it's worthwhile to try and bring down single stacks where I can. So I'm going to attack. Tell you what. I'm going to attack this big stack, actually, because then this single stack can attack this as well. And then I'm going to resurrect at the end of this. I'm not going to have a single Master Swordsman left at the end of this fight. Not one single one. And this bottom stack of swordsmen, they just have to stay alive. So they're actually not here to do damage, because they have to survive 2 more bits of damage here. So we're going to skip there. We're going to... Oh yeah, we already cast our spell this turn, didn't we? Okay, but we can attack here because retaliation's already down. Okay, 7 points of damage. Do we wait? Wow, what a good question. Do we wait? By the way, being cursed is pretty bad. Doesn't feel good. But 2 attack, 2 defense, so we got some benefits here. So let's see, 9 attack versus the 7 defense, and so we're still going to be doing damage. I don't think I can trust. I think I have to cast the Resurrect here on the Master Swordsman to bring them back up to 3. I don't think I can trust that the Gargoyles aren't going to do as much damage. We have the spell points. Let's cast the Resurrection. Let's play it safe. Especially because we're going to have to cast it down here later. Next turn. We can kill 3. We can kill 3. I think let's work on this stack here. Okay, 1 Master Swordsman goes down there. 3 HP left. It's not a lot of HP. It's pretty low. We can kill 1. Let's attack here. Let's do nothing. Let's attack here. That's fine for me. Because now I think that this stack is going to survive just long enough. And then that means that this stack here, I need to resurrect that to full. That's 60 hit points worth of shield. Good. And then, oh, if I kill this full stack, that's actually going to be fine. Let's kill 3. There's going to be a little bit of hit points left. That means that these guys can kind of figure out how we attack this guy. 1 hit point left. This guy's going to attack there. 11 hit points there, 15 there. We did kill 1 gargoyle right here, so we have 2 single stacks there. Fantastic. And there's 1 full Master Swordsman here. Once again, you are the gate. You stay put. And you are also the gate, but you can attack and kill this 1 single stack. Okay. I'm anticipating, let's see, it's going to be about 19 damage. Top end, we're going to get 40 damage, and that's going to be too much. I think that we are obligated to cast the Resurrect here because I think that this big stack of 3 is going to get the most attention. We've got 3 more Resurrects. I think we got this fight in the bag. You got to be careful with your Resurrects, but I think that ensuring that there's no hiccups is the most important thing. There's only 1 hit point worth of Gargoyle there. That's pretty sad. Let's try and kill 4 here in that case. Yeah, and then I don't have to worry about a Resurrect here for another turn. And so that actually makes me feel great. I'll kill this guy with a retaliation in just a moment. Let this door stay alive. Let this door stay alive. 4 to 7. Oh, cursing on the Master Swordsman. Very interesting. I did not anticipate that. Plenty of shots, 12 shots left. I like being able to attack this guy with these guys. Let's start working on this top stack here. 10 down to 7. Okay, and so this guy's good with 18 hit points left. Let's see. He needs to attack and then he can do a retaliation. Or he can attack and then we can do the resurrect here. One more resurrect. Skip all the way. Oh, I should have actually attacked with this Master Swordsman. My mistake. 6, 10, 3. And it's the stack of 3 that's actually going to take the retaliation first. Tell you what, let's just get rid of the stack of 3 so that way we retaliate against a bigger stack. And do we have one more? We do have one more resurrect. I think that tells me everything I need to do. We're going to skip it away. And then when this number gets fairly low, we will deal with it. But for now, a couple hit points there. And I think you can tell that this is the strategy. And my original strategy would have been, if you had won, it would have been messy. This is your power stack. This is the damage. 5 to 8 damage versus the 4 to 6. These are your footmen that are your shield wall. And you got to keep your archers in the back safe. You got to keep your ranged damage safe. Yeah. So, with that being said, I think that we have done it. And I think that we can just say goodbye to Harry Potter. We do lose. It looks like it's going to be a total of 5 of the Master Swordsmen. So we do lose a bunch of troops, but we did have plenty left over. And really, look, we only had the 1 Master Swordsman left. And that was that one single stack that never had a loss. The other 2 stacks, because their stacks would have been dropped to 0 if you had not been using the resurrect, the enemies always attack the troop that is still possibly alive. And I do think I like that. I think it moderately gatekeeps the value of resurrect versus resurrect true. So I think that is worthwhile. Folks, we have taken the green tent. We've taken the orange tent. We have taken the purple tent. We have taken from David. David has taken the brown tent. Zapixo has taken the gold tent. Lady Jackady, she's taken the blue tent. And Sir Relu has taken the teal tent. And with that, I think we have everything that we need to carry on. Thankfully, we do have plenty of movement points. This shouldn't be a problem. We do have the Identify Hero spell that's already been cast. We're down to 17 spell points left. This sign says, we've arrived at the outskirts of the castle, ready to battle, but before that, he has to wait for his friends to vanquish enemy generals in order to lift the magical barriers standing in front of him. While waiting, he can always observe what's happening with one of his spells. Oh, I didn't actually see that, but we've used that spell this whole time, and that's been really nice. And so we go through the barriers one by one, and oh no, we still have more to do. Which actually feels great. In order to get to our castle, my castle, we do have to go through Lord Ross. Lord Ross is a level 12 hero. He's got, looks like 40 Grand Elves, 6 speed, 20 Gargoyles, 6 speed, the 5 speed Rogues in the amount of 10, then 16 of the 4 speed Centaurs, and then 2 Hydras. 60 spell points though, 4 attack, 4 defense, 7 spell power, 6 knowledge, and we have what? 1 Phoenix and 1 Champion. This is interesting. I like this. This is what I like about this. So our creatures are both 7 speed, and therefore it doesn't really matter for turn order. Or does it? Or does it? Well, it depends on the spells here. Chain Lightning. Oh. Well, I think the Chain Lightning is actually going to make this fight go pretty well. We got 1 Chain Lightning. We're just going to drop on our enemies. This should be fine. This should be more of a question of where do you drop the Chain Lightning more than anything, I think. The Usurper stands right in front of you. You can feel his magic is powerful, but so is yours. You'll need to be quick. If he can use a spell, it'll probably be the end of you. Oh, I like this challenge then. Oh, nifty. Okay, you know what this means then? Here's the deal. Here's the trick to this one. Hydras and centaurs are 2 hex creatures. That means that the champions have to be either in front of the centaurs or the hydras. I'm guessing... Let's see. I'm guessing if we drop the Chain Lightning 600 points on the elves, it's going to kill elves, rogues, gargoyles, maybe gargoyles, maybe not gargoyles. If he casts a spell, he will win. One way or the other, it's going to have to be the champions either in the 4th or the 5th position. It depends on how much attack damage I have. 3 attack? I want to get this right on the first try. I really do. I don't know. I'm guessing that there's going to be more hit points worth of Hydra left over before the Chain Lightning loses its power. I don't think that there's any way... Yeah, I don't think that there's any way I can plan on everybody else being left over. What if I start... So I've been operating under the theory in my mind as I'm trying to plan out this fight. I've been operating under the theory that I'm going to drop the Chain Lightning on the 40 elves. Is it better that I drop the Chain Lightning on the gargoyles and then the damage kind of spikes back and forth? I mean, 16 as far as centaurs, that's a pretty specific number. You know what I'm saying? That's a pretty specific number. Huh. Tell you what, so with that being said, I'm going to put the champion in the bottom section. I'm going to plan on the Chain Lightning being able to hit somebody, and then somebody in the middle, and then the phoenixes being able to deal with the grand elves. Let's see this fight. Let me try and conceptualize this a little bit better here on the map. Okay, 600 points of damage. You want to cast that right off the bat. If you cast up here, you're going to lose a lot of effectiveness. If you cast it here, you're probably going to hit the centaurs with too big of a hit. I think you just want to drop it on the gargoyles. I think you do. Because then you will hit the hydras. 75 hit points? Nope, so that's not going to be it. Because 30 grand elves and all this, that's just way too much. That's just way too much. I'm interested to see what that one spell that's going to get cast is, by the way. Yeah, very interested. Let's, yeah. So we're going to have to restart this. Yeah, you have to, I think you have to Chain Lightning the elves. I think you're forced to. Even if he doesn't have any other spells, like he didn't cast a spell there, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You have to still... You gotta get the elves. There's nothing else you can do. Okay, so let's just go in that direction. Let's move the champions again to the bottom. Yeah, let's move the champions to the bottom. Let's light up these elves because they're going to do so much damage. That takes out that whole stack, and now you just have to deal with 10, 16, and 1. That's much more doable. If he has no spells, then I think that we just sit back and we let the gargoyles come to us. We just make sure that we don't accidentally roast our one champion as well. But if there is no spells... Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, okay. Okay, alright. Wand of Magic disappears. Okay. Think outside of the box, Fix Fox. Think outside of the box. What else can we do here? Can't go around him. Chain Lightning on the gargoyles does not work. I do believe that you have to finish this fight in one go. Yeah, because the Phoenix was only going to kill 3 to 6 of the elves. There is nothing, I mean, there is nothing else here, right? Yeah, nothing else I can see. Magic is powerful, so is yours. You'll need to be quick. I did not adjust my champion, so this is going to be a loss again, but I'm still thinking. That seems bad. That seems like what you have to do. And so, one champion, I mean, am I going to kill a centaur in one go? I don't think so. I'm not going to kill all these centaurs. There's one Hydra left. He's going to cast 2 meteor showers on me. Three to 6. What am I missing? Is it possible that I get him to meteor shower himself? Is that possible with the Phoenix? And then if he only has meteor shower, and if he really wants to keep the centaurs alive, maybe the FHeroes2 AI will adjust this a little bit. I'm gonna guess that that's kind of what I gotta do. So we're gonna do it just like this. Phoenix is there. Okay. Step 1 is obvious here. Okay. And then step 2, I'm gonna try and do it like this. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get them to hit themselves with their meteor shower. Because there's no instance of good morale. This is just a game of chess. We skip. Yeah, so the enemy is not going to hit themselves. What am I missing here? What am I missing? At this point, unfortunately, and this might be boring for you, but this is my next point of strategy. If I'm going to continue to do this, my next point of strategy is to do some trial and error. For things like math. I'm not excellent at certain subjects, but I'm very good at using test-taking strategies, and some of those strategies are things like trial and error, and you just plug and play as often as it takes just to see what happens if you try this. Because sometimes you get surprised, and if I get surprised, maybe that helps me think in a different way. Okay, yeah, that's not gonna work. There's no way that starting with the centaurs makes any amount of sense. None. 0. That makes no sense. Let me save it again just so that way I don't ever forget that. That adjustment of the champions to the bottom. Huh. No. I clicked on the surrender button on accident. To which I reply, ha, and also no. Yeah, I think you've got to start with these Grand Elves, but then what? But then what? Because I can't kill any full stack of these creatures, and there's 3 stacks of creatures left. If I can get a double hex attack, that would be really awesome. Maybe if I save... Maybe if I save the Phoenix? No, I think that the Phoenix is going to eat the most amount of damage here in just a second. I don't think that they're going to even focus on the champion. I don't know. I am officially stumped. I have lost it. I've lost the thread. I feel like I am beaten. What can one man do against all of this reckless damage from our foes? I think I'm beaten. I think I am beaten. I think I'm beaten. And so folks, I'm gonna throw in the towel here a little bit. I mean, I could pause the video and like sleep on it and try and figure this out. But I think that there's actually one thing that I can do. I just realized there's one thing I can do that's actually fun, and it still is going to be Fix Fox with a little bit of a loss here. I'm happy with all these other fights. This is a wonderful scenario. I'm grateful for the strategies that take place here. I think that there's a strategy here that I'm missing, and I don't know what it is, and I feel bad that I don't know what it is. But I think that we have to get something set up, and we have to go to the tactician. We have to go to Winnymaru. I know that he has this playthrough on record, and I want to see him fight this final fight. I'm going to pull up his YouTube video. If you don't know Winnymaru, again, he's an excellent person. Very happy to be associated and acquainted with him. We're gonna get this set up so we can watch him and see how he does it. And I'm going to throw in the towel, and I'm going to admit defeat with all humility and all happiness to do so. I am happy to learn. I am always learning from other people. I am always getting better at Heroes, and that's why I appreciate when people give me new, exciting insights and updates and thoughts, because it helps me be better. And this is a game that's worth being better at. So with that being said, let me hit pause and let me pull up the YouTube video for Winnymaru for this final battle. Okay, I have pulled up his video here, and I've got the English subtitles on. Let's see what he's got for us here.
Sincèrement, je l'ai pas là comme ça, mais je pense qu'il faut qu'on essaye les différentes configurations du sort.
Trying different configurations. I'm not sure what configurations.
J'ai essayé sur lui si je fais là-dessus.
Okay. So he goes for the rogues first. He says it doesn't kill 100%. Elf's too far away. Yeah, that's part of the problem I'm getting, is that there's just a little too much there.
Ouais, c'est sûr que c'est pas ça.
Because the deal with Chain Lightning is that it works in... It halves the damage.
Mon phoenix et c'est fini.
He loses his Phoenix.
Pas simple celui-là. Hein? Ah, ça y est. Je crois que c'est bon.
He says it's not that easy.
Ce que vous êtes en train de me dire, c'est que si je tue lui...
You're telling me that if I kill him...
Si je tue lui, la foudre, elle va complètement ignorer, elle va passer tout de suite à la gargouille. Donc en fait, on tue d'abord lui.
It will completely ignore him? Killing the rogue first?
Et voilà. Ah oui, c'est du génie. C'est du génie, bravo. Bravo, bravo.
Oh my goodness, that's great! Oh, that's wonderful! That is fantastic! That is fantastic. Okay, folks, just in case you just missed what Winnymaru just did there. Okay, so you have enough damage with the 600 damage Chain Lightning, and the damage halves until it basically runs out of damage. And so there's too many creatures on the board. So what do? Well, you have to kill some of those creatures so that way you can then have the Chain Lightning be effective to kill the last 16 centaurs, essentially. You have to start with the elves at the top. And usually you would hurt yourself with any troop but a phoenix or a dragon who are immune to elemental spells. Phoenixes are immune to elemental spells. That includes Cold Ray, that includes Lightning Bolt, that includes Chain Lightning, and therefore, by actually going for the rogues with the Phoenix on round 1, or somewhere in round 1, then you're able to get the Chain Lightning to kill the full stack of the elves, and enough to kill the gargoyles, and enough to kill the hydras, and enough to kill the centaurs. Oh my goodness. And if I could reverse engineer what might have worked in my thought process pattern to do this, I think you would have had to have figured out, okay, how many hit points are there of each of these stacks? And you would have seen that one of these things is not like the other. And you could have seen big stack of elves, and you need the full damage there. And then you see below that, you see, the gargoyles, they have half again as much hit points, and then 2 hydras with 150. Yeah, It's 75 hit points worth of centaurs, 150 hit points worth of hydras, it's 300 hit points worth of gargoyles, and it's 600 hit points worth of elves. And if you can remove that one break in the chain with your one creature that can fly into that one spot, you can't use the champion to do that. It has to be the Phoenix. But if you do, well, if you do, then you have a real bravo sort of moment. I love that.
Mais effectivement, ouais. Belle énigme, ouais. L'énigme est cool. Hein. L'énigme est cool. Ah, la baguette
Beautiful.
éclair, utile pour...
Beautiful. I am thrilled. I am thrilled to have learned something new. I am thrilled to have learned something wonderful. So, with that being said, I think that there's no reason for me to do anything but follow the leader on this. Let's go back to load game. And let's dive into this way. Yeah, it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. 40 at 15 hit points each. That's 600 hit points worth of damage. 20 at 15. Yeah, it makes all the difference in the world. So you got to kill this stack of rogues, and that's why you need 2 7-speed creatures. You have to go first twice so you can eliminate them, and then. Oh, and you do have to have the champion at the very bottom. Oh. Well, I feel smart for having the champion at the very bottom. I felt like the champion, you would have to use the fact that they can deal damage to a 2-hex creature like that. So at least I saw that coming, but wow, excellent. And so you pick up a lightning rod, you pick up an ultimate crown, and so we now have, well, we have more to go then. So ultimate crown disappears, so we don't get it. But we do have the ability to get the red tent. We do get the magic well. So we have full spell points. And now with this lightning rod, our chain lightning is going to be even better. We go through the barrier, but we have no idea what these defenders are. Do we adjust phoenixes and champions? I do not know the answer. I'm going to assume no. We need to see what the defenders are first to make this happen. And this fight feels much better now that I know what the trick is. This is interesting, though. Okay, so we have 100 hit points worth of wolves. By the way, we can't kill any of these stacks here, and I'm sure that we're going to die round 1 if we're not careful. So we've got 250 hit points here, 100 hit points here. We've got 300, 600, plenty of hit points here. 30 times 15. 450. So you have to cast the chain lightning here on the iron golems because they take 50% reduced damage from elemental spells. So even though there's only 15, that still is as much damage as you can take, but it doesn't stop the damage for the rest of the people. They just have to start off with it. So you go here, and then you finish them off here. I love that trick. I hope that comes in handy in the future. It has to. Somewhere in my Heroes of Might and Magic experience, I know that what I learned today is going to be valuable for me in the future. Thank you so much. What a wonderful experience. What a wonderful scenario. What a wonderful map. What a great effort that went into making this scenario so very good. If it feels like I'm over the top with how good this feels, I'm not. I don't think I can give this scenario justice. And I love it very much. We've captured my castle. We are victorious. And in one day, on impossible difficulty, that gives us the rating of a black dragon. Folks, I am honored to say that this is going to be my #1 top score here on my chain. This is going to kick Surf and Turf off at the very bottom, and I will, with all sincerity of heart, put Fix Fox. I ran out of disk space, and so it cut off the recording, but let me just finish off and say what I was going to say. This is my new top score, and it feels wrong for me to not include 2 wonderful people, Winnymaru and Moucheron Quipet. Thank you both so very much for the fantastic experience. Thank you for including me in the scenario. I hope that this stands forever as a demonstration of the skills that you can find in Heroes of Might and Magic 2. I hope that you understand that this is probably my all-time favorite gaming experience I've ever had. I can't think, as I sit here right now, I can't think of a better gaming experience I've ever had in my life with any other game. So thank you. Thank you for letting me be a part of this. And I'm so very, very grateful to have this, this great acquaintance, friendship, and collaboration. I am honored. The pleasure is mine. I think maybe I said it, maybe I did not, but I will go and check to see if this map is publicly available or not. If it is publicly available, I will link it in a pinned comment so that way it can be found by anybody who is interested in this scenario. Otherwise, I am happy to have this be a way that I can show my appreciation for how great this map was. This was fantastic. This was fun. And I'm looking so very, very forward to whatever may come next. Folks, until I see you again, look after you, look after your friends, look after your family. My name is FixFox, and I'm so grateful. I'll catch you around. Take care.